Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Testing.
You're
One,
not gonna
two.
hear it for like a few minutes.
How do I sound? All right? All right.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to another night of JSBL Thursday. Last games of the week. First one between RKE and the Intern Helpers. Danny Zersky alongside David Smith. RKE playing their second game this week, coming off a Royal Rumble championship last week as well. I was in Aruba, and the stream was interesting with someone that is never going to be here again. As we started up, and the tip is almost tipped out of bounds. It is controlled by Sidney Brown, the point guard.
It's been a while since we've been in the booth together, Dan. It feels strange. What has it been, like 2 weeks now?
Yeah. Did you miss me?
A little bit, a little bit.
As that one's tipped away. Here's Chris Smith going to feed to the corner in a travel. And
that I think sums up the Intern Helpers season right there. I mean, great play defensively. Had Taheen Braswell wide open in the corner, and instead of taking that wide open three, thought about it too much and traveled on his drive to the hoop. They just can't get anything going.
Cardesi misses off the iron, and Hester picks up the board.
Feel like we're not going to hear you say that too much. Cardesi misses. Been absolutely on fire these past couple weeks.
Here's Hester hitting front iron with that shot from downtown. Here's Cardesi. Slicing in, floating, and hitting the iron again, no good. And that one off of Chris Smith. 9:09 to play in quarter number one. As Jack Collins will inbound, he finds Savoy, and then a steal for Alex Liba. Everyone in the Intern Helpers wearing different numbers tonight, as that one's denied by Chris Rubio, who's played well this year for RKE.
Yeah, the Lafayette pickups, Phillips and Rubio for RKE have both been terrific additions. Cardesi, obviously, the main addition that allowed RKE to become that first-place team. But Rubio, an underrated addition as well.
As Chris Smith misses from the mid-range, but right there to rebound and put it back is Alex Liba on the deuce, and it's 2-0 Intern Helpers. Here's Sidney Brown taking a shot from downtown. Downtown Sidney Brown, and it's 3-2.
Sidney Brown played a critical role in that tournament championship of the Royal Rumble against Stearns Trailer. Had 20 plus and made a ton of threes and was making a ton of nice passes just like that one.
Rubio, the beneficiary of that great pass, and it's 5-2. Hester finds Serrano, and good hands by Cardesi to tip it out of bounds.
It's been an interesting season for Isaac Hester. We saw him with 30 plus in that first game, and then he's been very quiet ever since for this Intern Helpers team. He's played a little bit of a smaller role, didn't get nearly the volume he got in that first game.
He tries a shot here, and that one hits back iron, no good.
But I think if he gets that volume again, maybe the Intern Helpers can turn it around.
Here's Savon Myers driving along the baseline, and it tipped away. He keeps possession. He takes one, and from the baseline, and reins it in, and it's 7-2. RKE off to a roaring start. Here's Chris Smith spinning on the block. Oh, tried to feed it to Hester, and it went off his leg.
There's something I've been thinking about recently, Dan. We've seen a lot of ACI Robbins Nest roster last year switch teams. Obviously with Myers, John Bala, Wells. How many games do you think they would have won this year if they kept that same team? Because a lot of them have been making really nice contributions and have taken a giant step from last year.
I'm not sure, as Cardesi misses on another three. Rare off start to tonight's game, and then good pressure by RKE. Braswell spinning off the baseline and hits it.
I think if you assemble last year's ACI Robbins Nest team, I think it's better than this year's Intern Helpers team.
I agree. But also, this ACI Robbins Nest team has been hurt by a few, as Myers driving to the rim missing. Rubio's putback blocked. His another putback was blocked, but they'll call a foul, and he'll go to the line to shoot two.
Not sure who they got that foul on. Looks like it's on Hester. I thought Hester got it clean. I thought personally if it was going to be on anyone, it was Smith. But Looks like it's going to be Hester. He couldn't believe it either.
By the way, with the regular season wrapping up as Rubio hits his first shot, this could very well be the opening matchup of the playoffs for both of these teams. As Intern sitting at the bottom of the league in 8th and RKE at the top of the league right now, and that's something that I don't think everyone was expecting to say at the start of the season, especially when they won the Royal Rumble. As long pass from Leiba to Chris Smith. He thought about the three. Now has Myers in his face. Here's Leiba off the bounce. Couldn't get it to go. Hit it the side of the rim, and here comes Sydney Brown feeding Cardesi. Corner three. Got it. Kyle Cardesi's first three of the night goes, and it's 11-4.
Always got to get a hand up when Cardesi is looking to spot up. Just a tremendous shooter. Even though he missed his first two, you know he's not going to stop.
Chris Smith left it short, and then a steal for Jack Collins. Here he comes down the lane, and he lays it up and in, and it's 13-4. A couple of steals already in the early going for Jack Collins. Here's Braswell, foul line J off the mark. Collins, actually that's Rubio with the rebound. Here's Cardesi, slicing in, laying it up high off the glass, no good, but contact, and he'll go to the line to shoot two.
I saw Coach Hicks calling for a timeout on that last possession, and the officials didn't see him. Not too happy with what he sees so far out of his intern helpers. But we received word from Coach Gallagher on the RKE side prior to the game that Ithiel Horton will not be with RKE, at least for the remainder of the regular season, as he has signed to play professionally in the Dominican Republic, but could be back for the playoffs, but unlikely is what he said.
That's a big loss for them. He'd been playing well as, good feed from Cardesi to Collins, who lays it up and in.
Yeah, Horton was just another shooter, another weapon for RKE that allowed them to get off to this hot start.
And another turnover. Here comes Collins running the floor. Good feed to the corner. Brown from downtown. Got it. And it's 19-4, 5 minutes in. Good RKE doing it on both ends of the floor. Not sure if they'll grant a media here, but what a start for RKE.
Yeah, I mean, RKE, I think the prime example in this league that plays hard on both sides, and I think that is why they're at the top of the league right now. You see a lot of these teams get up and down, but play a little bit lazy on the defensive end and then just look to rebound and get out in transition on offense. RKE takes pride in getting stops defensively. Kyle Cardesi, in all of his post-game interviews with me, always says how they take pride on the defensive side, play very hard in order to get out in transition and get their buckets, and they've done that so far. Collins with 3 steals already. He's been the anchor.
As he has been for them last year, this year as well, and continuing to keep his defensive success, as he's one of the best defenders in not only the CAA, but in all of the state of New Jersey collegiately. King Rice has uttered many times that every team needs a player like Jack Collins, and that continues to stand true as Intern has it. After the timeout, I believe the next whistle will be a media, as here's Hester. Brown on guarding him. Here's Braswell. They get it down low. Chris Smith, good feed inside to Braswell, who lays it up and in. And a good offensive possession out of the timeout for Intern helpers.
That's what they got to do. Cut to the basket more. When double teams come, find the open man. Great job there from Chris Smith to find Braswell on the open cut once he recognized the double team.
Myers hit the iron on his baseline, Jay. Here is Britt going strong to the rim, no good. Rebounded by Cardesi. Here's Sydney Brown, tries another three, and this time he's off the mark. Serrano grabbed the board. Here's Hester, who feeds Braswell, who lays it up, but not in. He gets his own rebound. Put back attempt, off the mark as well. Cardesi, the rebound. He'll save it to Davidson, and here comes RKE. Here's Collins. Fakes the three. Finds Davidson up top, who thought about the three. Drives, lays it up, in, who lays it up didn't get it in the foul called, so he'll go to the line. Not sure if they're going to call a media, and they are going to call a media, so we'll be back after this short break. RKE dominating in the early going. Welcome back to JSBL action. Dan Yuzerski, David Smith. As we have a newcomer for RKE, number 11. We'll get the name on number 11 when we get the chance. But here's Nick Davidson at the line. Chance for his first 2 points of tonight's action. And his first shot hits the front of the rim, no good.
Something that we saw RKE run a lot of in the Royal Rumble was the 3 big men set where they had Davidson, Moran, and Rubio on the court all at the same time in order to get some mismatches on offense. I'm curious to see if we see it at all tonight. Doesn't look like it really might matter in the early going, considering the lead that they've built up this early. Is a great shot there by Chris Smith. But they were able to dominate teams with that 3 big man lineup.
No Cardace on the floor. The 5 on the floor right now is Sidney Brown, Collins, Davidson, Moran, and Rubio. Here's a 3 from the corner for Hester, who rolls, gets it to rattle in, and the lead's been cut to 9.
That was a great defensive possession and good all-around unselfishness there to be able to save the ball, find Hester in the corner apart from Braswell. We know Hester much higher percentage 3-point shooter. So good IQ there from Smith to find the better shooter to get the higher percentage shot.
Here's Hester again, blocked by Dane Moran. .251 to play. Chris Smith will check in. Here is Taheen Braswell, guarded by Collins. Braswell, 2 from the foul line, missed the net. Hit the rim, and here's Collins the other way. Collins is yet to take a 3. Here's Moran, down low, got his man on the floor, and lays it up and in. Britt kind of grabbed Moran's leg, and I'm shocked they didn't call a foul there.
Or a flop, maybe after the fact. But a good job there by Dane Moran. Kind of use his frame to his advantage.
Here's Chris Smith, who feeds Braswell, who's fouled. Andrew Phillips getting his first action of the night, the Lafayette forward.
Seemed like they're a bit of a strategy here for the intern helpers, and it's to get the ball to Chris Smith on the low block. Let him isolate, and if they double, you find a cutter, and it's been Braswell on the receiving end quite a few times. Hit a layup earlier, and then now was able to draw some contact to get to the free throw line.
Another late addition for intern helpers, number 30. We don't have a name on him as well. Here's Collins. Tries his first 3 of the night and off the mark with that one. Number 30, the rebound. He gets it to Hester, who pulls up from 3 and hit the iron. Here's Cardace running the floor. Finds a man in the corner. That was Phillips, who missed, and then the rebound by Davidson, and he puts it back in, and the lead back to 11.
Davidson has a very good IQ. 2,000-point scorer at Bloomfield College. Typically in the right place at the right time. Also has great footwork down there in the post.
Here's a nice feed from Chris Smith to Braswell, who drives in, takes a tough shot falling away, and makes it. Not a very high IQ, high percentage shot, not high IQ shot from Braswell, but made it nonetheless. Here's Davidson, shot fake, dumps it in. Cardace, floater couldn't go. Collins came soaring in to try to get the rebound, and then he hit it out of bounds. Minute 10 to play in quarter number 1. Braswell takes a lot of shots, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. I'm not saying it is, but it is interesting to see how you respect the confidence that Braswell has in his game, and this time he throws it away. Throw it right to Cardace, and with a minute to go, RKE running the floor. Collins, nice feed, but couldn't quite connect with Nick Dane Moran. So here comes Intern Helpers, down by 9. Braswell seemed to be limping a little bit coming up the floor. Here's Chris Smith. 40 seconds to play. Smith, floater, couldn't get it. Rebound, tipped out to Hester. Hester thought about the 3. Finds Britt. Britt drives, lays it up. Oh, no good, but they'll call contact and call foul.
Davidson can't believe it. Did go straight up, but I definitely think he got him a little bit there with the body. As now Britt will have a chance for 2. But this looked like it could have been a blowout early, but they've closed the gap to 9 now with the ability to make it within 7. Good job of closing out this first quarter by the Intern Helpers.
As Britt cuts it to 8. Britt has 1 more. And he's got both. So it's a 7-point game. RKE up by 7. Here's Cardace. Drives, lost the handle and fell down. Intern can hold for the final shot, and Braswell rushed the pass and threw it out of bounds.
Those are the type of mistakes that can come back to bite you. Difference between 7 and 5 points is a lot at the end of the game.
Or even 4. Here's Collins, he feeds Cardace. He's got Hester on him, he's got 6 to shoot. Cardace pulls for 3, no good, rebound. Chris Smith, Chris gotta get up at the half. At the buzzer, couldn't get it at the front of the rim, and that ends an exciting first quarter. Intern Helpers and RKE Athletic, the first game of this Thursday doubleheader. RKE up by 7 after 1. Welcome back to the start of the second half, or second quarter, I should say. Dan Yezerski, David Smith, as Hester will dribble it up with his team trailing by 7. Hester will dump it down low on the block. Chris Smith bumping his way in, working on Phillips, feeds Britt in the corner. Britt tries a triple, couldn't hit it. Hit the iron, rebound back to Chris Smith. Working on Phillips with 10 to shoot. And then threw it away. Good save, and then here comes RKE running the floor. Count it, and the foul for Andrew Phillips.
Simple mistakes that RKE is taking advantage of. Just a great job there to get the steal late in the shot clock and be able to turn that into a fast break opportunity. A lot of the times, these teams, when they see that it's trailing in the shot clock, getting down to the wire, they get a little bit lazy, wait for the tough shot to go up, box out, and then just kind of wait for the next possession. RKE there was aggressive going for that steal and was able to get an easy trip to the free throw line there.
But just bad passing and turnovers continuing to hamper the Intern Helpers game tonight. As Phillips hit every part of the rim and then got it to go in. Lorenzo to check it in. Here's Hester. Finds Britt, who spins inside, lays it up, no good. Rebound, tip to Ezike, who laid it in. Ezika. Here is Phillips, lost it. Lorenzo coming away with the steal. Here's Hester through the lane, blocked by Andrew Phillips. Here's Cardacey the other way. Ball fake three, got it. Cardacey got his man in the air with a shot fake and then hit an open three, and the lead is back to 11.
What a sequence for RKE. Great job there from Andrew Phillips to get back on defense and pin that against the backboard instead of giving up on that easy fast break for the Intern Helpers. And a great fake there from Cardacey allowed him to get the space that he needed to knock down that three-point jump shot.
Davidson transition three, couldn't hit it. Rebounded by Chris Smith. His brother JR played some minutes the other night. Here's Hester from the left corner, off the mark with that shot. He gets another chance and couldn't hit on the second either. Here's Brown running the floor. Oh, good feed inside, and that was denied. Ezika with the block, and then they're going to call a travel on Andrew Phillips, and RKE turns it over. Braswell will check in. Myers will check in. Singleton will check in for RKE.
Singleton, a new face for this RKE roster, might be the Ithiel Horton replacement. Curious to see what he can bring to this RKE squad.
We haven't seen him this year or last. Here's a three for Lorenzo, high arcing shot off the mark. Singleton gets a touch. Oh, good feed to Sidney Brown, who has another great feed to Myers, who finishes it in. RKE with this flashy passing, and the lead is 13.
I think it's pretty safe to say that RKE plays the most unselfish brand of basketball out of any team in this league, just always looking to make that extra pass for the open teammate. You saw it there, just two great passes to lead to the easy bucket.
As that shot from Hester was no good, and they're going to call a loose ball foul on Ezika. You're right about, and to a point you said earlier, about RKE playing unselfish basketball. Those teams have won out in recent years. You look at Ortho and Jay, made it to the finals last year, and are a force to be reckoned with this year as well. Stearns won back-to-back championships playing that basketball as Cardacey off the mark on a three. Rebound tipped out and on the floor, and Intern comes away with it. Here's Serrano. Oh, nice feed and a layup there for Serrano, and cuts the lead to 11.
Tough finish there to lay it in with the left on the reverse.
As Myers' turnaround jumper couldn't fall. Intern with a chance to cut it to single digits and couldn't do it there, but get the rebound and put back. Serrano, a couple offensive possessions where he scored, and it's a 9-point game, and it's back to 11 after that Cardacey shot.
Cardacey just has such great body control and does a great job of creating space for himself in order to get an easy jump shot. Did a great job there of getting to his spot at the free throw line and making the defense pay and not getting a hand up.
Here's Isaac Hester, feeds Braswell. Trying to dump it down low. Here's Ezike. Finds Braswell, and nice cut and layup there, and the lead down to 9.
Back and forth right now the last couple of possessions. Both teams been doing very well on the offensive end.
Here's Rubio, sizing his way up, on the block, spins in, lays it up, no good, but he's fouled and has 2 at the strike.
That's a great move there by Rubio. Good job to get the space initially by going with the little shimmy right there and then getting to his spot, the pump fake up and under. That's old school big man basketball right there. And did a great job of initiating the contact to get to the free throw line.
First one goes, back to 10.
I always love seeing old school basketball with all the up and down, all the threes you see in today's game. Not as much defense. I love it when you see a good old-fashioned big with his back to the basket being able to make a good post move down low, because you just don't see it that much anymore.
You don't. Here's Hester. Oh, is blocked by, I believe, Singleton with 5:29 to play. Jack Collins will check in for Rubio. So RKE going small with all guards on the floor.
Myers will probably play the 5 for him.
Positionless basketball. Collins, Azika gets the friendly roll and cuts the lead to 8.
Yeah, all 4 bigs are on the bench right now. Crazy.
Here's Collins feeding to Singleton, who lays it in.
They've got 9 people on their roster, 5 guards, 4 bigs. Crazy that the Coach Gallagher is going with 4 bigs on the bench and 5 guards on the floor. To be fair, though, with no Liba on the floor, you can afford to go pretty positionless, because even though Ezike and Serrano are both big, I feel like Collins and Singleton are both big enough to be able to handle them down low.
Intern almost had a repeat of the other night where they had too many men on the floor as Serrano couldn't hit on the 3. Hester got 2 guys in the air, feeds Chris Smith, corner J, got it for 3, and it's a 7-point game. Here's Collins with a chance to run the floor. Collins lays it up and in, and it's a 9-point game.
Great recognition there from Jack Collins to see that Intern was not back on defense and to push the pace and get to the rack for the easy deuce.
Collins has had a good game tonight. Here's Chris Smith. Threw it right to Sidney Brown. Brown's got the acceleration to the rim, and he drives and lays it in. 11-point game. 4:20 to play in half number 1. Here's Isaac Hester. Finds Chris Smith, who shot doesn't go. Rebounded by Savon Myers. Myers has some room. Myers to the rim and was blocked out of bounds with exactly 4 to play in half number 1 as we take our second timeout of the night. RKE up by 11, looking to end their week with another win. Hi everyone, welcome back. 4 minutes to play in half number 1. RKE with the lead and the ball up by 11. Collins inbounds to Sidney Brown. Here's Myers, gets his man in the air. Myers driving to the rim, blocked by Serrano, but they're going to call a foul. To the delight of Singleton on the bench.
Savon Myers just drives to the rack fearlessly. 2 straight possessions where he was going to catch a body. He didn't care who was at the rim. But with his type of athleticism and that mindset, you know every once in a while he's going to put someone on a poster.
He's got the talent and ability to do so. He's not going to be at JUCO Brookdale for very long. There's going to be a high-level team that will be excited to acquire his services. As he hits, if he can hit this one, he'll split a pair at the line.
I think he has the talent to make a jump to Division I, if I'm being honest.
He definitely does.
Because typically with someone who goes to a JUCO like Brookdale, usually what they lack is size or athleticism, but they usually have pretty good skill. With Savon Myers, the best part about his game is his size and his athleticism because he's more of a guard than he is a forward.
He is.
So that is definitely going to play to his advantage at a higher level. Just has to really work on his fundamentals, but he is pretty fundamentally sound for someone who goes to a school like Brookdale. You'd think that he'd play at a bigger school.
Well, not only that, the one thing that you're going to look for teams is, one, you're going to look for fundamentals, as you mentioned, athleticism. The other big thing is how can you make shots, because he is a little bit undersized to play the wing, so he would have to be a guard. So it really depends on his shot making. Speaking of shot making, Chris Smith couldn't hit that one, and the officials will rule that it hit the backboard.
To be honest, though, I don't think he's that undersized for a wing. I feel, though, he's probably around like 6'5", which I feel like is average, maybe slightly above average for the size of a wing. I think that what he really just has to develop is a consistent jump shot.
You're probably right about that, as Myers couldn't lay that one in. Here's Serrano, threw it to the bench. Another turnover for Intern helpers.
Only a 9-point game as Intern helpers have slowly crept their way back into this one.
The largest lead was 15 for RKE. It was a 19-2 run that they had. Cardesi with it. Turnaround jumper off the mark, rebounded by Serrano. Able to get positioning on Rubayo. Here's Serrano for 3 and missed the rim. Here's Cardesi running up the floor, laying it up, no good. Intern got a piece of it. Here's Chris Smith lobbing it up, and Braswell couldn't finish. Here comes RKE. Here comes Cardesi. Here comes Sidney Brown, who lays it up and in. More unselfish basketball, and it's an 11-point game.
The Intern helpers didn't need a lob there. Not sure why Chris Smith tried to get flashy, especially when you're trying to get back into this game. Just the lowest percentage shot that they could have taken there. I think even a pull-up shot from mid-range would have been better than that, and that wasn't even the highest percentage shot there. They could have gotten the layup with the numbers they had, but Chris Smith, just an ill-advised play there.
As Collins misses on the 3, gets his own rebound after the tip. Brown, downtown, look, couldn't hit. Rebound off of Braswell to stay with RKE. With 9 to shoot. Here's Davidson on the blocks, gonna bully his way in and hit a teardrop off the glass.
Hester wanted a hook, but I think the referee just saw the size mismatch and wasn't really gonna call anything once he saw that.
As Chris Smith just drove into the entire RKE team and had his shot blocked out of bounds. Azika, Britt was about to check in. Intern helpers has had trouble even subbing in players. They had 7 players on the court the other night and got called for a technical foul. As Hester launches from downtown and hits, cutting the lead to 8.
Just as you think RKE is going to go on a run that could potentially put this game out of reach, Intern helpers has had an answer. They just can't seem to close that gap to the 6 to 5 range.
They have a chance here. Hester Open look from 3, off the mark, no good. Rebound and putback rolls in from Alex Leiba, and they've cut it to 6.
This is a big minute 15 here. You got to close this half strong if you're any of these teams.
There's a block for the Intern helpers. Here's a layup for Alex Leiba, and they've cut it to 4. 60 seconds to play. Sean Gallagher is going to call timeout.
Just a great 45 seconds or so for the Intern helpers. Got some stops, played good defense on that end, and then we're able to get out in transition. Good job there from Alex Leiba to use his body and be able to lay it up on the hook.
Well done by Leiba there. As he's able to cut it to 4. Yeah, give Intern helpers some credit. They were down by 15, not even 5 minutes in. Since then, they've outscored RKE by 11. They've outscored them by 3 in this quarter. So a chance to cut into this lead even more. And if you're Intern, if you have it close going into the half, that's all you could really ask for. Here's Sidney Brown with it. Slicing through, laying it up and in. Offhand finish for Sidney Brown, didn't matter, and it's a 6-point game. 40 seconds to go. Here's Chris Smith. Smith, mid-range from the foul line, off the mark, no good. Rebound and put back, Hester on the finish. 27 seconds to play. Here comes Jack Collins. About a 2-second differential between the shot and the game clock. 47-43, RKE in front as Collins try to hold for the final shot of quarter number 2. They get into their offense here. Collins with 7 seconds to play. Feeds Rubio, and they're going to call a foul with 4 seconds to play in the half.
Believe that's only their first foul within the last 2 minutes, so don't think they're going to go to the line, correct? Going to be side out. Good foul there, honestly. 4 seconds, obviously, a lot of time, but a good job there by Leiba to kind of throw off the rhythm there.
Shot clock turned off. They have 4 to shoot. Collins finds Brown. Brown with 2 to shoot. Lays it up. Teardrop couldn't go. And that ends an exciting first half. RKE up by 4 over the Intern helpers, looking for their first win as a franchise. They might have a chance tonight to take off the #1 seed. We'll see. Second half action coming up after this short break on JSPL Hoops. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the second half of tonight's first game. Dan Yuzerski alongside David Smith. As the Intern Helpers start with the ball trailing by 4. It was a good first half for them.
I think this is the closest margin that they've had all season at the half.
As there's Kears Collins, wide open layup, he lays it in, and it's a 6-point game. After another steal. Ten turnovers in that first half for Intern Helpers, make that 11. Collins now up to 8 points. Here's Serrano, and he's denied by Rubio, who's getting pressured. He gets it to Jack Collins. Collins finds Cardesi, his corner 3, got it to go, and quickly up. It's quickly a 9-point lead.
Cardesi doesn't even need to have his feet set, as you saw there. If you don't have a hand up, he's gonna make you pay.
Collins picks up his third assist as that one doesn't go. Fight for the rebound. Ends with Chris Rubio. Here's Cardesi, another chance from that corner. He'll take a 3 and make a 3. And an 8-0 run for RKE extends the lead to 12. Cardesi now
Just like that, a 10-0 run. Or, excuse me, an 8-0 run.
Cardesi up to 15 now, and that's what RKE can do. And Stern saw it last week. Ortho saw it this week. Larson saw it this week. It's just a really good team, and they're all clicking right now. And if you're an RKE fan, and if you're Eddie or Greg, who are a big part of why RKE is here, you'd hope that this can continue as the playoffs roll on as well. As they're a tough out.
Not many teams that play harder than them.
No. And they finally have they have those pieces that they were missing last year, and Intern almost turned it over again. Here's Hester. Here is Braswell. Chris Smith on the block. Feeds an open 3 for Hester, and he couldn't hit it to go. Collins, only his second rebound. Feeds Sidney Brown. Here's Collins, wide open from downtown, sets his feet, and missing the shot off the iron. 8 minutes to play in quarter number 3. Smith feeds Zika. Here's Collins off the make from Zika, and he couldn't hit it to go.
Chris Smith's game is so interesting to me because on numerous occasions he's displayed great court vision, but at other times he's displayed very questionable shot selection. So we know he has the vision when people are open that he could hit the open teammate and create great looks for them, but sometimes he just takes some very questionable shots.
As Cardesi couldn't hit on the 3, Collins saves it and gets it to Rubio, who lays it up and in. Jack Collins does everything. And it's a 10-point game. He's got 4 steals tonight, adding to that rebound department as well.
Dan Singleton is loving it on this RKE sideline. I've heard him be very vocal, and this is the first time we've ever seen him in uniform.
That shot doesn't go from Intern. It was Hester, and here's Collins. Tries another 3. That one off the mark as well. Cardesi couldn't chase down the rebound, and it'll go to the Intern Helpers. Amir Britt will check in for the Intern Helpers. Here's Hester. A 3 for Chris Smith rattles off the iron, no good, and then that one's denied. Rubio picks up another block. His second of the game.
Rubio has displayed great rim protection here in his limited time with RKE. Obviously has the wingspan, probably standing at around what, you think, like 6'9", 6'8" in the
Around
middle
that.
there. but also great timing. Shot blocking isn't all about wingspan, height, and jumping ability. Some of the best shot blockers, I mean, Rudy Gobert, obviously a good athlete, very tall, but why he's one of the best is because of his timing.
And wingspan, too, as Brown hits the front of the rim from downtown. Intern, another chance to cut it to 4 as Smith, a little bit of a questionable 3 there as Hester gets the rebound. The putback doesn't go from Liba. Azika actually the one who missed that one, and Rubio gets the rebound, gives it to Cardesi, but Rubio seemed to get poked in the eye. Cardesi missing on the 3. Brown feeds Collins under the rim, who lays it up and in with some contact, and the lead's back to 9.
Great recognition there from Brown. He had somewhat of an open 3 that it looked like he wanted to take, but Jack Collins had the more higher percentage shot under the rim, and Sidney Brown did a great job of recognizing that and getting him the ball quick.
And the Intern helpers travel. But again, unselfish basketball from the Intern helpers as Davidson and Moran will check in for Myers and Rubio. Hester's been inefficient tonight. He shot 4 of 15 in the first half.
Yeah, I was talking about it earlier with maybe if he gets more volume that he could have a potential game like he did the first time, but he's just been ice cold.
Moran from 3, got it to go, and it's a 12-point ball game.
Dane Moran has shown that he is one of the best stretch bigs in this league. We see a lot of great bigs in this league like Chris Brady, Mike Amon, just to name a few, but in terms of ones that can stretch the floor, which is such a weapon, especially in today's newer game where so many threes are taken, just like Davidson there, who can also stretch the floor, it's such a weapon, and Moran and Davidson are 2 of the best in this league at doing so.
14-point lead. Smith, step back, triple, got it. Answering the Davidson 3, and it's an 11-point game. Here's Brown. Foul line J, got it.
Tough shot by Sidney Brown there. Pushed the pace, was a little off balance, stopped himself, and then pulled up because he didn't have too many numbers to work with, but somehow got it to fall.
Smith feeds Hester, cutting along the baseline. Braswell with an open look from 3, air ball. Cardesi had numbers but decided not to push, and Smith will foul him, leading us to our media timeout. RKE up by 13 midway through the third quarter. Welcome back to JSBL Hoops. RK with a 13-point lead. And the ball. Cardesi fakes the 3, gets it back, tries this one, and left it short off the front of the rim. Hester, mid-range, grazing the rim, no good. Another chance to push, good feed from Collins. This time it's Phillips, who couldn't quite handle it, and then he went up and down.
What a poor job there from Andrew Phillips. Was wide open under the rim, but just couldn't seem to get a grip on that ball. Great outlet from Collins. But Phillips there just not sure what happened. Maybe it was a lack of focus.
I mean, you don't really expect yourself to be that open as Collins with the steal. Phillips another chance this time, and he'll lay it in. Oh, it's blocked, but a goaltend. Britt got that one a bit too late, and it'll be a 15-point game with 3:28 to play, matching RKE's largest lead of the night.
You and King Rice just bring up such a great point, but every team needs a Jack Collins, like you said. Did a great job there poking that one away, and just the perfect tap in transition to get Phillips the layup. Just does, and look at him on Smith now. Great job denying the ball. Just so good defensively.
And then a block from Moran, and what do they call? It's a technical foul, and then some proverbial words from Chris Smith. Who continues to have some choice words for the officials. Continuing to have some profanity.
Hopefully no kids watching on this broadcast. Not sure if you picked it up on there, but not words, or words that would probably be bleeped out on national television.
And that might do it for Chris Smith.
I don't think it might do it. I think it is going to do it for Chris Smith. Greg probably going to have a little bit of a talk with him. Curious to see if we see him back.
This is so it was a double technical, so yeah, that is it for Chris Smith. All right, let's regroup here.
I think it's the media timeout.
No media timeout. But RKE will have the ball, as they did have it before. Both of those technical fouls were called, and they now have the lead up by 16, largest lead of the night for the orange and blue.
Isn't it purple?
You know what? It is purple. I don't know why I continue to say
I'm a
orange
little
and
colorblind to it, but it's definitely questionable.
They're going to call a media timeout on the floor. It's a wild sequence here. We'll be right back. Welcome back to JSBL action. Dan Yuzerski alongside David Smith. The timeout on the floor is because Chris Smith did get ejected and has to leave before he did wave at us.
No, I think he was. I don't know if that's his mom, his grandma that's sitting right next to us. She was one of the first ones in the gym, but I heard her from the sideline saying, Chris, stop," when he was talking to the ref. But I think he was waving at her.
So he did get ejected, had some choice words, and led us to take a media. So that's why there was a stoppage. Oh, good feed from Cardesi to Davidson, who lays it up and in for the deuce. And with 3 minutes to play in the third, RKE in total control, up by 18. Hester, long pass out to Serrano, who spins into the lane. Shot off the glass is good.
Remember when we were saying that the intern helpers had a shot at their first victory at the half?
That's quickly faded.
Crazy how things
Escalated.
can turn so quick.
As Moran gets the friendly roll off the iron and lead back up to 18. Here's Azika, who gets the friendly roll. Almost overshot it, but cuts the lead to 16. This could be some interesting territory for RKE and the intern helpers if RKE extends it as and Moran just cost his team 2 points on basket interference.
Got a little too excited there. Think he didn't have that much faith in Sidney Brown on that floater right there, but got to have more discipline than that if you're Dan Moran.
So intern ball with 2 minutes to play in the third. Hester launching from three. That one's good. And it's a 73-50 game. Right back, here's Phillips off the front of the rim, no good. Intern might be having a little bit of a run here to cut it to maybe single digits. Hester, another three, and that one off the side of the rim, no good. A long pass, Cardesi, who lays it up and in. Beautiful outlet from Myers, and it's a 15-point game.
There's the quarterback in Savon Myers right there, obviously the star at Manchester prior to his time at Brookdale, but
as that high arcing shot from Lorenzo falls, a triple, and it's 75-63. Cardesi, corner, Phillips, shot fake, mid-range, off the mark. Here's Britt running the floor, feeding Hester, who finds an open Azika on the cut, and he lays it up and in, and it's a 10-point game.
good recognition there from Hester to find the cutting Azika for the open layup.
Here's a bit of a run with Jack Collins on the bench, and that one tipped out of bounds by Azika with 39.2 seconds to play in quarter number 3. Here's a three for Cardesi off the inbound. That one might have gotten tipped as it missed the rim entirely. 30 seconds to play in quarter number 3. Hester a chance to cut it to single digits. Maybe a 2-for-1. Oh, nice feed to Serrano. It gets tipped. Britt with it. That one was stripped by RKE, and a travel on Sidney Brown with 19.5 seconds to play in the third.
I think he stood up with the ball. I think that's how they got the travel.
And intern helpers with a chance to hold for the final shot.
Honestly, I think if you're the intern helpers, you don't necessarily need to hold for the last shot here. I think you want to get the best shot.
Or you could go for the 2-for-1.
Well, can't go 2-for-1 considering there's no more shot clock.
That's right. Maybe try for a basket and then a steal off the inbound as Hester lost it to Brown. He comes away with the steal. Brown to the rim. Brown couldn't lay it in, but right there for the rebound and putback attempt was Myers. He missed it. Wild sequence here. 3 seconds to shoot. Phillips has to get it off at the buzzer. He did! Andrew Phillips, a buzzer beater to end quarter number 3.
Looked so pure out of his hands. I think me and you both knew, and you were itching to call that one, but looked good out of his hands, looked even better in the net. Just a great overall possession there from RKE, and now 13 is going to be tough to overcome, especially without Chris Smith.
Chris Smith ejected in quarter number 3. How will Intern respond in quarter number 4, trailing by 13? That's what we have to answer with quarter number 4 coming up right after this short break. Start of quarter number 4 here in JSPL game number 1. Danny Zerski, David Smith. As Singleton will inbound. He's getting some runway in the 4th with RKE up by 13. Savon Myers feeds. A 3 up top for Moran, no good. Collins and Lorenzo go up for the rebound. Lorenzo comes away with it. Ezeka lays it up and in after a good shot fake. Myers, Collins, and threw it away. It looked like it might have grazed the hand of an Intern Helpers player, but it doesn't. And once again, the Intern Helpers a chance to cut it to single digits early on in the 4th. Hester. 6 of 21 today, and then that one off the mark from Lorenzo. Long 3 for Singleton. How do you do? Showing off the range. Serrano inbounds to Britt, and a steal for RKE. Here's Phillips, who lays it up, no good. A rebound and put back, no good as well. Phillips with the ball on the floor gets the rebound back. And they'll slow it down. Myers to the rim, laying it up, no good. A rebound, Moran in a crowd. Collins gets it on the foul line. He feeds Myers, who lays it up and in. RKE had 6 or 7 chances there, and they finally convert.
That's what happens when you can't get a rebound. So many second chance opportunities that they're eventually going to convert one, excuse me.
High arcing 3 from Hester, no good. Myers the rebound. RKE up by 16. Long feed to the corner. Collins a 3. This one off the mark, no good. A rebound. Moran. Myers has it in the corner. He'll try a 3. Off the rim, no good. Here's Britt. Feeds. 3 for Lorenzo. Hit iron and bounced out. And then Britt on the rebound and put back. Cutting it to 14. Here's Phillips.
Size mismatch here.
He's going to be unselfish. Get it to teammate. Moran down low, working on Ezeka. No good. A rebound and put back by Phillips.
Tried the Alvarado there. You see that?
He did.
I don't think he's that small to be able to do it. I think that's was part of the problem.
You might be right about that, as this lead is up to 16. And Serrano, nice shot there. Cutting it to 13. It didn't even touch the net. Here's Myers. Oh! A royal flush!
That is crazy. Savon Myers, we talked about it before, just possesses athleticism like no other. Really put it on display there. Absolutely electric.
Everyone is still in disbelief. the smile, all the RKE benches up and smiling at Savon Myers, who just put on maybe the highlight of the year.
Told you, with his mindset and athleticism, he's looking to catch a body.
And he didn't just catch a body. There was a murder on the floor with that one. And everyone,
it's just a hockey line change after that.
everyone high fives him, go over to the bench, smiles all around for Savon Myers, who might have just a royal flush.
That's not a straight flush right there. That's
No.
a royal flush.
That's what you call some good plumbing right there. As Cardesi has it. 6:50 to play. Spinning is Singleton. Oh, beautiful feed, and then Rubio couldn't handle it. I tell you what, I really like what Dan Singleton has brought to the game tonight.
Just a lot of energy. I mean, willing defender, as you see there.
Took a deep three. He's 2 for 2 tonight. He's made some good defense and cheering on his teammates. And RKE really has had the magic touch tonight. And really with the guys they brought in all year. Is Brown gets to the foul line. Turnaround jumper, or airballed it. Singleton, the rebound, saving it. Cardesi tries a three. That one off the mark. And then Singleton nudged the ball loose, but they're going to call a foul.
He's just in every play. Reminds me a little bit of Jack Collins, but after losing Horton, they needed some warm bodies. And not only is Singleton a warm body, he's going to be a contributor for this team. Really high energy on both sides. It's not a 50-50 ball with Singleton. It's more like a 70-30 ball, as he seems to always come up with it.
Yes, indeed. And if you have Singleton and Collins on the floor at the same time, that's what, in video game terms, would be what you call a busted controller after a game against those two. As look at the move by Lorenzo, who lays it up and in. Don't look now, it's a 10-point lead. And then a foul on Lorenzo.
You see Lorenzo say, ooh, nah, no way, and then realize what that official has been through today with Chris Smith and say, nah, yeah, you right, that was a foul.
Nice feed from Singleton, who played at Montclair State, who missing on the layup, put back no good. Braswell running, here's Lorenzo, good cherry pick pass from Braswell to Lorenzo, and it's an 8-point game.
Is that Dwayne Jones I just saw walk into the gym?
That is Dwayne Jones.
Played last year for Seashore. Haven't seen him this, I mean, I wasn't here this week, but.
He hasn't been here. I was talking to Sam Fagan, who came over and fist bumped us before. They're getting him back, and that's a big get for ACI Robbins Nest.
His brother Amari's been here this year. We were saying on prior broadcast, where's Dwayne been? But, yeah, like you just said, looks like he's going to be suiting up for ACI Robbins Nest. So, both the Jones brothers going to be on feuding teams.
I thought you were about to get me in trouble. As Collins loses that one, Braswell comes away with it. Braswell to the rim, and that one blocked. He gets his own rebound and lays it in. Cardesi takes it himself and left it short. And then another turnover and a foul by Braswell, and that'll take us to our final media timeout of game number 1. And RKE up by 9, trying to close it out. Welcome back to JSBL action. Dan Yuzerski with a half a vocal cord and David Smith. Thank God you're doing play-by-play in game 2, because I think I caused some vocal cord damage with that Savon Myers dunk.
It's not bronchitis. I know that's what what's it called when your vocal cords are all damaged?
Laryngitis.
Laryngitis. There you go.
Here's Serrano blocked by Rubio. Another one for him. 2-on-1 break here. Brown feeds Cardacci, who lays it in.
Great job there by Brown and Cardacci. Brown, good job of recognizing Cardacci. Was doing a really good job of running the floor after that block.
And then another foul by Braswell. Third team foul.
If there's one critique I think I can make with the gameplay, we see a lot of just easy touch fouls to prevent teams from getting in the open court. I think that there should be a little bit, I mean, obviously a few times they've called a transition foul, but just way too many easy fouls.
And a steal here. Here comes Lorenzo looking for a highlight, and he slams it in. Here's Davidson, thought about the corner triple. Here he comes down the lane, tipped all the way out to Collins, who saves it, gets it to Brown. Brown to Davidson, who lays it up and in. And Sidney Brown continues to play fantastic minutes for RKE tonight.
There's not one player on the RKE floor, sorry to cut you off, but not one player that plays selfish and isn't looking for that next pass. A lot of them are looking to pass first and then shoot the ball. They're making sure it's a good shot before they take it.
Well, it's such a stark contrast on the other side as a foul is called from intern helpers, who the first chance they get a shot to put up, they put up the shot.
And it's why intern helpers are winless on the year and why RKE is in first place.
With an in-season tournament championship as well.
You see it at any level. The team that's the most unselfish typically wins. That's why the Warriors were so good for so long. All of them, a bunch of great shooters willing to give it up. Obviously now with Jokic, great passer.
The Knicks.
The Knicks as well.
Well, outside of Julius Randle. As that one blocked again by Rubio. It's a block party here in Manasquan.
Even the Celtics as well, because they just have so many options and they can beat you in so many ways.
Here's Collins. Finds Davidson, who drives to the rim. Missing there, but Rubio for the rebound and the putback. And RKE is having a night. Rubio's been outstanding. Brown's been outstanding. Collins has contributed. Cardacci. Singleton. Savon Myers brought the house down. Moran has hit some threes as Hester misses from downtown. Here's another run. This time it's Rubio's the beneficiary from a Sidney Brown pass. And it's 98-83. Braswell slicing to the rim, lays it in.
Sidney Brown only played at Albright College. I'm not sure if that's Division II or Division III, but he has the offensive game of a Division I player. He's a great shooter, great passer. Just think height and maybe his defensive prowess is what held him back. But offensively, Sidney Brown is a terror to game plan against.
Indeed he is. Here comes Cardacci. And a turnover. He's a lot like Justin Robinson. Not maybe as athletic.
Yeah, not as
shifty.
Explosive.
But very much with how he can shoot, how he sees the floor.
I think Robinson's a little bit better off the dribble as well. But, I mean, if you're even getting somewhat of a comparison to one of the best players that this league has ever seen, it's quite the compliment.
Indeed it is. A minute 50 to play in game number 1 as Brown slicing layup is good.
Like, that's just such a tough, that's his offhand. Double clutch in the air off the screen. He's just so good. I've been really impressed with him over these past 2 seasons in my time covering this great league.
And it seems like he's only gotten better as a scramble on the floor here leads to a Hester layup and miss. Serrano the board. Here's Braswell. That one might have gotten tipped by Rubio, and then finally Liba able to get the rebound and put it back in with 1:15 to play in this game. Here's Collins. Oh, nice feed to Davidson, who lays it up and in. Collins has a little bit of a quiet night for Jack Collins, but still a great game nonetheless, and then a turnover, but they're going to call a foul with a minute to play. Game number 2 will be WCT and ACI Robinson, as two teams that are been very much improved from last year. Intern helpers hoping they could take that route for next year.
I think that's going to be a close game in game 2.
I agree as well. This one's been, I think, closer than both of us thought it would be. Serrano missing from,
especially without Chris Smith for a quarter and a half to keep it. I was going to say within 15, but
good thing you didn't. You would have jinxed it. Does the announcer jinx count if you don't say it? You're thinking it?
I think it just counts no matter what, even if I'm thinking it.
As Serrano misses on the 3. Collins grabs the board. Spinning through the defense, finds Davidson, and he couldn't handle it. Collins has shown off the playmaking tonight. With 22 seconds to play, shot clock turned off. Raswell will miss the layup, and then Liba will put it back in.
Think they might just hold it here.
Rubio with 5 seconds to play. They are going to hold it, and they are going to win it. RKE, another dominant win tonight. They win 105-91. What a game for Sidney Brown. What a game for Chris Rubio. Savon Myers brought down the house with a flush. Jack Collins, great defensively. Davidson, a good game. Moran, a good game. You can't say it.
You named
everyone
the whole
played.
team, and that's what you're going to do with RKE, considering they just play great team basketball. Everyone you're going to name is going to make an impact, and that's why they're doing so well right now, why they're at the top of the standings. But we had a really good game for game 1. Hopefully game 2 of WCT and ACI Robinson can live up to the hype as well to give us a pretty good night.
Yeah. Last game of the week coming up next, but before that, we'll have tonight's star of the game. I will be interviewing him, and then we'll shift the focus to game number 2 with RKE winning this one 105-91. Tonight's star of the game, Savon Myers. Savon, that dunk in the fourth quarter was incredible. Is that something you practice?
I'm not gonna lie, man. I don't even practice my bounce. Like, that's all like over the years of just working out. Obviously, you know, playing basketball. So nah, I guess I don't really work on it. I mean, I do work on it though. Like, you feel me? I've been playing basketball for a minute, sports, all that. So yeah.
Take me through that sequence. What was in your mindset going through that play?
I'm like, it's a fast break. You know, I got one ahead of me. I could have passed it, but he didn't pick up on me. He picked up on the other man. I'm like, it's no way the helper man about to jump. Like, you're not even good enough position right now. Don't do that to yourself. He did it, and you know, feel me? You know what happened from there. It was all downhill for him.
You guys have now won the in-season tournament. You guys are first place going into the final week of the regular season. How good does it feel to be playing the way you guys are playing right now?
I mean, last year I played with ACI, so you know we wasn't the best. But this year, man, get to play on a winning squad, man. I feel good, man. Shout out to feel me, RKE, man. We doing it big this year. We about to take the chip this year. We about to everybody Stearns. I got chip on my shoulder for all y'all. Everybody in this league, I'm coming. Save on, he coming.
Last question: what was everyone saying to you when you hit? I saw the entire bench going crazy. Dan Singleton, who played his first game tonight, was really emphatic the entire game on the bench. What was everyone saying to you after you took that man's soul?
Oh, pause. Well, they was just gassing me, man. Like, oh my God, he didn't just do that, And they was just, cause I was just upset after, like, this wasn't a good game for me. So I was, and like every time I be like missing or whatever, I get upset. So, and you're supposed to move on. So they was just trying to hype me up, bring me back up. You know, after that dunk, it was like I kind of forgot about all that. So.
Savon Myers, the star of tonight's game, had 8 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 assists, and obviously the play of the game. Savon, great game tonight.
Thank you,
and
Seth.
great play.
I see y'all, man. That wasn't, don't include that stat line, please.